So the hospice social worker came in to inform and confirm that there was another respite care for my former father-in-law who was dying. And when she said it to me, I said, "What? What do you mean?" And she says, "Oh, they've arranged for respite care for 5 days back in the same place he was 6 weeks ago." I'm like, fuck. And I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. After everything that I said, everything that I had experienced there in the 5 days and 5 nights at this really good facility, she tells me they are going back because they need to go to bike week. And yep, I lost my shit. And as soon as she left, I asked my ex-husband, I said, "What the hell are you thinking? What's going on? I thought we agreed last week that I could be here for you, for him, so you could do whatever it was that you needed to be. Do you remember that conversation?" I was so upset because it wasn't the way I wanted it to be. And he says, "Well, you know, he does his typical narcissist thing that he doesn't accept responsibility." And all I could see was the experience was so horrific the first time when they put him in a wheelchair and put him down, and it's 40 degrees outside, and all he has on is a fucking robe and his diapers and his catheter, no shoes, nothing. And they put him in this van, and I was so upset because he was alone. So I followed him behind the van because they were just going to ship him up there with nobody being there. It was a clusterfuck in every single dimension as they went off to their bike week while his father was dying. And I am not doing it because I want something in return. I was doing it because of the love for humanity, the love for a human being, to comfort them as they're transitioning. So I made this decision when I was at my wit's end yesterday that this is not the way to go. And I look over at my father-in-law, who I call Pops. He's dying. He's very weak. He was hardly alert yesterday. And I have spent the last 3 months tending to him, making sure he has everything he needs when there isn't anybody there, and to make sure that everything's okay. And after yesterday, it's over. Today, I'm going to take my aunt over to see him, and we're going to say our goodbyes because I need to protect my peace. And I've heard, I don't know if you've heard this, but a really dear friend of mine who was a former hospice chaplain says that, you know, when you're around for a really long time, they receive this love and they just want to continue receiving that love. Those are the ones who last the longest. And I've also read and heard that when people are dying, it's easier for them to die when their loved one isn't there. So today I'm going to go over and say my goodbyes because it's time for him to be free. And it's time for me to be free too, of that whole part of my life. And even though I have showed up as the best version of myself up until yesterday, it's time for me to start my own life again without him. And I'll be doing a lot of different things, and I'll have more time for you, where I can build the classes that I want to, build the coaching that I want for you, to help guide you through implementing and integrating and applying spiritual practices so that you can have more happiness in your life, so that you can have more dominion over your life, just as I am. And even though I had the moment of rage and anger and sadness, that is a human thing to do. And I'm going to get through it, just like you're going to get through whatever shit you're going through. And I'm going to pull it together. I'm going to mourn for a while, of course, because this was the father I never had. And my happiness is only dependent on me, not anybody else. And I don't need to be around really crazy, dysfunctional people any more than you do. And I want him to be with the angels, because I've done my angel work already, as some friends have said, which is very sweet. So today I'm reading from The Language of Letting Go. Ugh, sorry guys. And it says, our happiness is not a present someone else holds in his or her hands. Our well-being is not held by another to be given or withheld at whim. If we reach out and try to force someone to give us what we believe he or she holds, we will be disappointed. We will discover that it is an illusion. The person didn't hold it. He or she never shall. That beautifully wrapped box with the ribbon on it that we believed contained our happiness that someone was holding, it's an illusion. In those moments when we are trying to reach out and force someone to stop our pain and create our joy, if we can find the courage to stop flailing about and instead stand still and deal with our issues, we will find our happiness. Yes, it is true that if someone steps on our foot, he or she is hurting us, and therefore holds the power to stop our pain by removing his or her foot. So that's what I'm doing. But the pain is still ours, and so is the responsibility to tell someone to stop stepping on our feet. And healing will come when we're aware of how we attempt to use others to stop our pain and create our own happiness. We will heal from the past. We will receive insights that can change the course of our relationships. We will see that all along our happiness and our well-being have been in our hands. We have held that box. The contents are ours for the keeping and for the opening. And God, help me remember that I hold the key to my own happiness. Give me the courage to stand still and deal with my own feelings. Give me the insights I need to improve my relationships. Help me stop doing the codependent dance and start doing the dance of recovery. One of the biggest things that I've had to do over these last 3 months as a part-time caregiver has been just to keep my mouth shut. And sometimes it feels like I have a lid on a volcano. And when I feel the emotions wanting to erupt, I do everything I can to keep my mouth shut, don't say anything, just stay in my lane, do what I'm supposed to do, and not hold any resentment or anger, and just do the next loving thing. And that's what I'm inviting you to do today. And I would love it if you subscribe to my channel, because I do have some great things that I've been planning in my head for a really long time, where we can be one-on-one, where we can coach in a group class, where I can help and support you in your spiritual journey. And again, if you like my content, like, subscribe, and share it with somebody who could use it, because you know there is. I love you.